big story coming out of that conversation with Aaron Rodgers is the fact that Aaron said, hey, listen, this ain't about Jordan. Hey, I love the kid. He said, I love the kid. Had great times together. This is not about Jordan Love. This is not about my teammates. He said, I love my teammates, actually. You see us all dancing last year? We were dancing, having a good time. The locker room's a good locker room. We actually enjoy the hell out of each other. Somehow in a COVID protocol-riddled season in which nobody could sit and eat in the lunchroom together, cafeteria together. You can't be in the locker room at the same time. Somehow that team was able to bond because they're so close to a lot of success. You saw them dancing, saw them vibing. It ain't nothing about my teammates, Aaron said. Coaches, love my coaches.
Love them.
Hey, LaFleur there at the beginning, I thought, well, what the hell are we doing, maybe? But I didn't know who the guy was. Nobody knew who the guy was. And by the way, still nobody knows who the guy is because I think he's had the most successful start in a head coaching career in NFL history, and nobody talks about it. But he and I get along great. We're body each other up. We punch each other on the sideline. We celebrate together. We spent Zoom calls together this past offseason going through the entire first year together to talk about what I like, what I don't like, what we see, what we don't see. We spend time to get to know each other both on the field and off the field. We like each other a lot, and we were very successful together. It's not about the coaches, he said. But what people don't understand is it is the people that make the whole thing go, is what he was saying. It is the people that build the culture. It is the people that make a business what it is. Although you see football and you see jerseys, it is the humans that are there day to day inside of that building, inside of that facility, making that entire place tick. And what I think he was alluding to was the fact that, you know, it's about doing things the right way and treating people the right way.
Yeah.
I don't know if necessarily he was specifically talking about everything that was going on in his life and, you know, with his decisions with the Packers. With the Packers' decisions on how they've treated Aaron. I think this was a much larger picture that goes all the way back. And this is not Aaron telling me this, okay? This is me listening to what he said. Everything he says has a reason. We've got a chance to learn that. Aaron is incredibly intelligent. By the way, incredibly thoughtful, deep thinking, and positive, by the way. I think that is something that never gets talked about. He is very positive person. Now, when he says something like this, you have to think to yourself, what's he talking about? And I think this goes back to the same thing that he and I and the boys and AJ have gotten a chance to chat about on a regular basis. It's about making the place right. It's about doing things in the right manner. It's about whenever somebody like Jordy Nelson wants to come back and play for free, basically. Just one more year. I want to be here. Not even having a conversation, kicking his ass out the door. Same thing with Kuhn. Same thing with Kumro they just did recently. Same thing with a lot of other things. I think this is potentially, and who knows what's happening to people not in the football world, by the way. Like, who knows what's happening in the equipment room, athletic training room, other things that are potentially going on there. And this is, by the way, not coming from Aaron. Once again, have to say that I've not talked to him. We are not like that. We do get along, I think. I think we are on very good terms, I think. But it's not like I'm asking him because I have to speak for 3.5 hours every fucking day into one of these, and it is not right, or for me to become that person. But I think it's him getting to a point where he's sick of the way things are going. You can put an end to this right now. We can change the way this entire thing's going, but it's going to take some moments from some people recognizing that they potentially fucked a lot of this thing up. I think he wants, because, you know, he very clearly left one particular group out on the football side into who he loves, who he doesn't love. I feel like there is a potential, you know, long list of things that is kind of just stacked on top of each other. In Jordan Love, the draft pick, not Jordan Love the human, but Jordan Love being used in the first round whenever, you know, the entire team just gave their entire souls to make it to the NFC Championship. They have a tight group. We're close. You give us just one more real needed piece, we'll be able to get. Now, actually, we're going to prepare for 4 years down the road, actually. That's what we're going to do. So everybody thought that was what it was, and that's why he came out and said it's not Jordan Love. I assume, though, that is just another layer on the cake of what the fuck is going on in Aaron's mind with the way the Green Bay Packers operate versus everybody else. And I would assume, since he's become, you know, I'll say friendly with Brett Favre. I don't know if they're friends, okay? Because I don't know if I'm the right person to talk about that relationship because I have no idea. I did see Aaron and Brett together down in the Bahamas, and that was like 2 to 3 minutes after I watched Brett Favre take out his driver and hit a golf ball 475 yards.
Yeah. Jeez.
Okay, copper all over him, vascularity popping, looked like Popeye. He absolutely bombed a golf ball. And then Aaron and Brett were talking, and I actually even mentioned, like, hey, this is cool or whatever. And they kind of, I think they both had to put aside their differences, and they came together now. They, time heals all wounds, they say. But I would assume Aaron even thought to himself, like, what about what they did with Brett? Like, they drafted me, obviously, let me do this. But it feels like there has just always been this long history of how things go in Green Bay. And it might be because there is no owner, by the way. There is no one person who's in charge that says, hey, this is my team, and this person, we're doing this with this. We're going to do it right by this. We're going to do it right by this. We're not just going to think about, okay, how do we maintain just whatever our vision is for the next 4 years, whatever it is. It's going to be like, hey, this is a place with humans in it. This isn't a video game. This is actually real life, and the team, the chemistry, the people, and by the way, the quarterback matter in that entire situation. It's just very fascinating. I don't think we're ever going to find out who wants what until what happens. Yeah, that makes sense if you listen to it back. I don't know if Aaron knows how this is going to work out. I don't know if the Packers have any idea if they know like how this is going to work out. I think it's fascinating. Kenny Mayne said a couple times like people are going to be mad. This is not what they're going to want to hear. While I was watching it, I was like, Kenny, people are going to be mad.
Yeah. Very.
But literally, I don't think there is a right answer for either side right now because they have no clue what's going on. The boys are here at Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt. Ty, Packers fan, you watched Kenny Mayne last night. I would assume, by the way, with the way your brain works, you were also a Kenny Mayne fan growing up.
Oh, yeah.
So watching that last SportsCenter, it was a little piece of nostalgia for all of us, I think. But the interview, what were your thoughts? And all together on Kenny Mayne as well, if you want.
It was disheartening, obviously. Like I don't think anyone really expected him to go on there and drop some huge bombshell. I mean, maybe he would have, but I kind of figured it was going to be like that. They would kind of just trade, jabs and bits back and forth. But it just like, I don't know, you look at it and it's like you said, like there's no end in sight. Like deadlines create decisions, I guess. So we'll once, June 1st comes out, we'll figure more about this, but nothing new happened that we didn't already know. And like to your point again about, I hadn't even thought of this, but like they get rid of, his quarterback's coach who he really likes, who you assumed in most situations, like if you have an elite quarterback, I feel like at most teams that guy would have a say in who his quarterback's coach is going to be.
Clyde Christensen, by the way.
Exactly. So it's just like, I don't know. You hear more about this stuff, and we've been following it the whole time, so it's not like anything's new. But it is just disheartening because time heals all wounds. You hoped that okay, he's got away from the whole thing. He's on vacation. He's enjoying himself. Maybe there can be like a meeting of the minds, but it doesn't seem like that's anywhere near close.
Now, Aaron Rodgers on Kenny Mayne last night. Did you watch it live? Have you watched it since? And your takeaway? Didn't really learn anything new, but still hammered home a very important part of this is like love teammates, love coaches. Just feels like there's been some shit that's gone on. This has been a continuing message, I feel like, but he did elaborate a little bit more with old Kenny Mayne, who's a legend last night.
Yeah, he did. I actually forgot this was happening live. I saw it this morning and watched everything and read it all. It didn't say a whole lot. I thought Kenny did a great job. Continue to go at him and keep coming after him and just being honest. Kenny is very, very good. So I give him a lot of credit for this.
Well, and that's kind of what we said at the beginning of this, by the way. It was like, hey, Kenny, they were celebrating as if something was over. It's like, I think the internet and Kenny are going to get along just fine. But with that, if he's going on the internet, I don't know, maybe he'll go to another network. I'm not 100% sure. I would like to see Kenny use his brain and create awesome shit on the internet. I think we would all be very appreciative, and it'll do well. Businesses will see it and support it, hopefully. And he'll just be bigger than he ever was in the last 10 years or whatever. But